Good afternoon and welcome to 3 o'clock with SOC. My name is Maria. I am a community organizer and coordinator at SOC, and I will be your host for today. Just give me a second while I welcome our Spanish-speaking guests. Muy buenas tardes y bienvenidos a 3 en Punto con SOC. Mi nombre es María, soy una organizadora de la comunidad y coordinadora del grupo de jóvenes con SOC. Hoy nuestro programa es en inglés, pero ofrecemos traducciones al español. Para escuchar la traducción puede llamar al número que aparece en la pantalla, que es 646-749-3122 y la contraseña es 779-328-221. Okay, so we'll continue with our show and with some other reminders. There is a link to our past recorded episodes on our Facebook and YouTube page, so feel free to check that out. And then I'd also like to give a quick shout out to our staff. Today we have Marlene producing and Travis doing comments. Another reminder to complete our SOC survey. We want to hear your thoughts and opinions on our forum. We are also open to any suggestions or topics you'd like to see on here. And then all of the SOC staff is working virtually from home, and that is why you see us on the screen without masks at this time. Although we are working from home, SOC is still here for you. You can reach us via email at soc@socmilwaukee.org. You can call us at 414-672-8090. You can also check out our website at socmilwaukee.org. Lastly, I'd like to share a disclaimer that the views and opinions shared today do not necessarily reflect those of SOC. So before I continue with our announcements, I'd like to invite you all to comment just so that we can get an idea of who is all with us today. So right here, I just see SOC commenting. So if you're here watching, please do not be afraid and comment. Jasmine, hey, thank you for commenting. Kimberly, hello. Hi, Kimberly. So then we'll continue with some announcements. As you already know, today is our Youth Forum Day. For our special segment, we have a pre-recorded interview with Jessica Munoz from Sojourner Truth Center. But before we move forward with our interview, I'd like to go over what the rest of the week looks like for our forum. So tomorrow, Wednesday, is our Spanish Day, and we will have Berenice Beltrán Maldonado from Voces de la Frontera. Thursday is our COVID-19 Day, and we'll have Claire Evers, Deputy Commissioner of Environmental Health from the Milwaukee Public Health Department, and Dr. Heather Paradis. She's the Deputy Commissioner of Medical Services and Chief Medical Officer. And then Friday is our Community Leadership and Community Organizing Development Day, and that's Pedro Hernandez, attorney at Legal Aid Society. So we hope you can all join us for the rest of the week and get more information from all the amazing guests we have booked. So now it's time for our guest segments. So before we go to that, let me just see who else is here with us. I see Kimberly, I already said hi to you. And then Ariana and Isaiah, hi. Thank you for commenting. So now let's move on to our segment. We have a pre-recorded interview with Jessica Munoz from Sojourner Truth Center, and she will be speaking to us about domestic abuse prevention and services provided by Sojourner Truth. Hi, everyone, and welcome to 3 o'clock with SOC. Today for our SOC feature, we have a very special guest, and that's Jessica Munoz from the Sojourner Truth Center. Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Welcome.
No, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at the Sojourner Truth Center?
Absolutely. So again, I work for Sojourner Truth, and it's a domestic violence agency here in the city of Milwaukee. My role specifically is I work for the Community Domestic Abuse Programming Team in Sojourner, which has advocates at all of the Milwaukee police districts, as well as an advocate at the Brown Deer Police Department and the Oak Creek Police Department. Part of the Milwaukee Police Department's protocol is actually to give an advocate a referral of any victim of domestic abuse. What my role more than anything is to connect with victims as soon as the incident happens, and that's for safety planning, take care of any immediate needs, and also help them, go through that criminal justice system, navigating it at least.
Okay, thank you. Could you give us a little bit of kind of just tips of what people can do that are experiencing abuse and what like families, friends or neighbors can do to help with those situations?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that anytime that we see any of our loved ones going through abuse, it's difficult. And being more than anything, I think being supportive, giving anyone a safe place for them to share what they're going through, encouraging them to talk to someone. I think so important that we might not have all the right answers. We might not know what it is to report or to not report, or even what services are available. Encouraging them to talk to an advocate at least. And also, one of the most important things is to keep whatever that person says in between yourselves. Never talk negative about what person's going through, about even the abuser, because you never want to push that person away. And it's definitely a time where that person's been vulnerable. So definitely maintaining an open contact, just letting them know that you're available to talk whenever it's needed.
Okay. Travis, do you want to go ahead and ask Harrison? I think he's muted. But yeah, so then when it comes to being in a situation, let's say you're kind of third-hand experiencing a situation with someone, how would you distress a situation like that?
I think listening. I think that's one of the most important. That whenever someone's talking to you about it, most of the time they're not looking for opinions. Most of the time they're just looking for someone to talk to listen, and definitely never pressuring them to leave the relationship. It takes victims many times to leave the relationship, so definitely just knowing that they can talk to somebody. Many times if they're talking to you, it might not be because they're ready to leave the relationship, and it's also important to not assume that that relationship would be ending.
Right. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got into this role with Sojourner?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before this, I used to work for the Latino Research Center through UMOS, and they also offer domestic violence services. And I started off working through their immigration program, and from there, I just started seeing the value in the work. I think that especially working here on the South Side with, so many Spanish speakers, there's definitely a need, someone who's able to talk your same language, being able to be there, to navigate. I think the system is so important, especially when you're working with immigrant families who might believe that the same laws are the same in the United States, how they are in other countries. I think I saw the value in being able to support someone who they could relate to.
Right. Well, thank you for your work that you do in our community. And then you did mention that you can relate on a different level as well because of, speaking Spanish, speaking a different language. So which brings me to my next question is like, how can people get in contact with you and the Truth Center, but also what services do you provide in different languages?
So if starting off with our services, all our services are completely free and confidential to everyone, and anyone can access our services regardless if they reported a crime, or if the abuse is physical, emotional. And our services vary. We have an emergency shelter which has 54 beds and is available for victims, both men and women, and their children. We have our advocacy services, which have ongoing services and crisis intervention, as well as support groups. We have a hope and healing program, which it's more about empowerment. So getting victims connected to education, wellness, and employment. We have children's programming, which is specifically geared for children who have witnessed or gone through abuse in the home. We have a Beyond Abuse program that is for women who have been abusive in their own relationships. And we do community outreach, as well as we have a restraining order office that's co-located at the Milwaukee County Courthouse, and assisting anybody in the community obtaining a restraining order. Again, all our services are free and confidential. They're still available even right now through COVID, and you could call our 24-hour crisis line, and or if you could call me directly. So just getting connected to us, and you could even call our 24-hour hotline even at any time in the day. Ask, say you just want to talk to someone, get connected to services, and they would make a referral, and you could ask specifically to be connected to someone.
Sorry, I just realized I was muted. Do you have that information on your website, or how can we get that?
We do, yes. Our website is sojournerfamilypeacecenter.org, and you could see all our information there. Our 24-hour line is 414-933-2722, and 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a week, trained advocates at all times.
Perfect. Thank you. Any other questions, Travis, that you can think of for Jessica right now?
No, I think that went well. I don't know, was she freezing during the video, or was your video frozen, or?
Not for me.
No? Okay. All right. This might have been mine. No, I think that was very helpful and informational. Jessica, is there anything else that you'd like to mention or talk about?
No, not necessarily. I think we covered a good aspect of it all. I mean, unless you'd like me to talk about, there's certain things that have changed, like how services look. For instance, like restraining orders, the process of obtaining a restraining order looks completely different. So if you'd like me
if you want to talk a little bit about that.
About the restraining order, yeah. So
because there's always misinformation out there about that.
Absolutely.
So if you want to.
Yeah, there's so much misinformation out there, and like there's even misconceptions that people aren't getting arrested, and why call the police if someone's not getting arrested, which domestic violence is a mandatory arrest, so they're getting arrested for domestic violence. Restraining orders, before COVID, you would have to file for that restraining order in person. There was no other way to obtain that restraining order, but right now, the Milwaukee, our office at the courthouse is only working through phone. So you'd be able to obtain a restraining order over the phone. You would have to call the restraining order office, place yourself by calling, leaving a message with your name and number. You would place yourself on the list, and they're calling people in the exact same way that they received the call. And once they're giving you a call, you petition over the phone. You would still have your injunction. So after having that temporary restraining order for 2 weeks, you would go in person. So that is one of the court hearings that's happening in person. But another way to do it, other than over the phone, because some people need it right away, they can't wait to receive that call back, and usually that call back is within a day. So you could leave a message today, but most likely you won't receive that call back until the next day. You could petition for that order through the Wisconsin e-filing system. The only way you can petition it is through a computer. It has to be a laptop, a desktop. It can't be over the phone. And the reason it can't be over the phone is because that order has that you have to petition. When you make the petition, the forms, they're on PDF forms, and you can't do that over the phone. You can't do that on the cell phone. So a lot of people try over their cell phone, but it's not gonna, you could go through all the process, you could make your account, but it won't let you follow through unless you actually upload the forms in that specific way.
Has this been a challenge though? Because it is in PDF form. I don't think a lot of people have access to.
Yeah, you know what, it has, and it's been a challenge, I think, more than anything, because a lot of people don't have access to the computers, sometimes, Wi-Fi, things like that. So it really has been a challenge, I think, navigating it, at least, especially at the beginning when it was fresh to everyone. I had to learn, we all had to learn how to file for the restraining orders online, and it's not the easiest process. I think there's a lot of legal terms, and once you start, you do them more often, you start getting familiar with them. But for someone who's petitioning for that order for the very first time, it is a very, I don't want to say it's, you have to read everything, that fine print, everything, because it won't let you move to the second step without following every single step beforehand. I think now people have learned to navigate it a little bit better, as well as we have, because I think when COVID hit, none of us were experienced in this. It was something that was brand new. And even now, it's something that we're still learning to navigate. Some people just, they'll try and they'll give up and they'll call a restraining order office, which is okay too. that's where we want to assist. We want to help petition for those restraining orders.
Are any other services that have changed due to COVID?
Well, all of us are working remotely. Right now, most of us, if not all of us, are continuing to work remotely. Support groups have gone through Zoom calls now. A lot of our counseling services also, they're being seen also through Zoom. Charging conferences with the DA's office, they're not in person anymore. Everything for the charging conferences, the district attorney's office are calling victims over the phone. They're no longer ordered in. So a lot of things, because of COVID, everything looks different since March till now. Everything, and we have no sense of when that's going to go back to normal.
Okay. Any services that haven't been taking place, or you guys have just been adjusting it to kind of virtual?
No, we've really had to adjust to doing everything pretty much virtual. I don't think any of our services have been taken away. We're still accepting people at the shelter. There's people are leaving and coming from the shelter, so as long as space is available, your victims and their families are able to enter shelter.
Okay, that's perfect. Well, thank you. That's all the questions that I have for you. And then we'll also put all of your contact information in the comments, so feel free to, if there's anything else that you want to provide us with, we can put that in there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and provide you with my work cell phone number. I think the number that you might have for me is my desk phone number, which is still a number that works. But just, I think right now the best way to reach me is my cell phone. So you can just put my cell phone down.
Perfect. Can you just give it to us now, and then we'll just
414. It's 414-708-4158.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you.
So once again, thank you to Jessica for doing that interview with us earlier on. And I hope you guys found some information. We do have the website for the Peace Center in our comments as well, if you'd like to take a look or want to contact them. So we'll continue with some other updates that we have, but first let me see who's all here with us. I see Juan and Lucas joined. Thank you guys for saying hi and for watching. So next up, we'll do our coronavirus update, which it will be a video on vaccine updates.
The more infectious the disease is, the higher the proportion of the population that has to be protected and before we get to herd immunity. So for coronavirus, we think that it's probably around 70% of people would need to have immunity before the rest of the group would be protected. Herd immunity is the idea that even though one individual may not have gotten protected from an infection or may not have had that infection, the more people in their herd or group that do have protection to that infection, the less likely they are to get it. So when the majority of people have protection from an infection, the herd is less likely to transmit that infection.
There are lots of examples of viruses that we have achieved some level of herd immunity to. One example on the far end of success is smallpox, where we were able to fully eradicate the disease. Immunity to the coronavirus can be achieved either through natural infection or through a vaccine. They don't have to be two separate things. We can have some immunity from natural infection and also some immunity from a vaccine. In most places in the world, we think that level of natural infection right now is still only 20% or less. And so we still have a long way to go. And certainly the fastest and safest way to get there is through a vaccine.
Coronavirus is here with us. We're not going to be able to eradicate it. It seems very unlikely. And it is not inevitable that we all have to get this infection. That is not inevitable. There are a lot of reasons to be hopeful that we will be able to develop a vaccine and can get prevention that way if we can hold out a little bit longer.
Thank you, Marlene, for choosing that video for us to watch and give us an update now that the vaccines are starting to come out. So next up is our Civic video, Civic update.
Hey everyone, and happy Tuesday. I just want to give you all a brief and final update about the Electoral College vote that happened yesterday. So each state has cast their electoral votes, and it has confirmed Joe Biden as the president-elect of the United States. So he ended up with 306 electoral votes, and Trump ended up with 232 electoral votes. And as I'm sure you all know, you need 270 to pass the halfway mark and win the presidency. So those are all confirmed, and now what we wait for is for those results from each state to get sent to Congress, and for Congress to officially count those votes on January 6th and then declare the next president. And then, of course, the presidential inauguration happens on January 20th. And I'm just going to leave you all with a short video that shows the Wisconsin Electoral College declaring the winner after having counted each elector's vote. And I will be with you on another day with another update.
Okay, as chairperson of the Electoral College and governor of the great state of Wisconsin, it is my distinct honor to announce that Wisconsin cast its 10 electoral votes for President of the United States of America to Joseph R. Biden Jr., and for Vice President of the United States of America, 10 electoral votes also for Kamala D. Harris. We made it. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all your good work. We'll now sign the certificates of vote to transmit the results to the United States Congress. And we have multiple things for you to sign, multiple certificates that need to be signed. Once we have finished signing, I'll call each remaining elector up to sign other certificates.
Thank you, Gabe, for that update. And then next up with us is going to be Travis coming on live to give us a safety update along with other information on upcoming holiday events. Hi, Travis.
Hey, how you doing?
Go ahead. This is all yours.
All right. So yeah, we'll just I guess I'll start off with the safety aspect of things. Obviously, like they've been saying from District 2, don't leave your keys in your car when you warm up your car outside, because cars been getting stolen. The numbers are going up on car thefts. Also, don't leave packages or anything valuable in your car. There's been a lot of break-ins going on. So you definitely want to take out everything in your car, make sure the doors are locked, stuff like that. And yeah, like I say, don't leave your cars running with the keys in them, because it won't be there most likely when you get back. And then the District 2 Crime and Safety meeting is tomorrow. It'll be on Facebook, on their Facebook page. So just go look up the District 2 Facebook page, MPD, and it'll be on there. And then in a couple days, they'll have the Spanish version out. So just go check that out. They're going to have a detective come on here and talk about certain things that go on around the holidays and certain safety tips. So be sure to check that out. Also, street lights. If you see any street lights out, it's important that you call them in. You can call 414-286-CITY, which is 414-286-2489. Call and let them know that they're out. It gets dark around 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's going to be probably earlier in the next couple of weeks. It's going to get darker out. So whenever you see the street lights out, please call them in, or let us know. Use the closest address to the pole. If the pole don't have a number on it, just use the closest house address to it and call it up, and they'll go check it out. Because if we don't call and report them, they don't know. There's multiple hundreds of thousand lights around the whole city, so they don't know if people don't call and let them know. So if you want to keep your area visible, so it's very important that if your street light goes out, call it in so they can get a crew out there to fix it within a day or two. Sometimes if there's a major problem, it might take a couple more days, but so the sooner you report it, the quicker the light will be back on. So we've been talking about the D2, the MPD District 2 food drive, along with God's Touch Milwaukee, and we have a lot of food coming in, so that's great. We need more. If you're able to donate some food, I'm challenging people 3 to 5 boxes or cans of food. It'd be appreciated. You can drop them off at 245 West Lincoln Avenue, which is the District 2 police station, or God Touch Milwaukee, which is 1501 West Lincoln Avenue. And they'll take your donations, no contact. There's 2 Feeding America bins inside there. And yeah, so that's just the easiest way to do it. And then we're doing that till the 18th. And then on the 22nd of December at 1 o'clock at the parking lot of 1501 West Lincoln Avenue, we're going to distribute the food. So if you know anybody that needs food, or if you're in need of food, come on down, check us out. We'll be out there passing out food and masks as well. So yeah, so that's just a great way, like I say, if you have some food or if you can get some food and donate it, it'd just be a great thing. Then also there's a couple toy drives that are going on the south side right now. One is the Ayuda Mutua toy drive. They're donating on Fridays, which is December 18th, and Saturday, December 19th, from 3:30 to 4:30 at 2801 5th Court, 5th Street, 5th Court, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's right there off Rosedale and 6th Street. You just go up and you'll hit 2801 5th Court. And they're looking for toddler to adolescent. They're looking for educational toys. They're trying to stay away from any type of toys that might be considered violent, like toy guns and whatnot. They're looking for books, English and Spanish. So check them out. You can go to their Facebook, check them out, and they'll be distributing them when they do a food distribution to the south side. Then also the Mexican Fiesta toy drive. They're collecting till December 18th from 9 in the morning to 5 p.m. at their headquarters right there on 2997 South 20th Street. And then they're also collecting from January 4th to January 8th. And those toys will be given for their Three Kings celebration. So check them out. Please donate to both these causes. They're trying to get toys to kids on the south side this time of year. So yeah, so it's just a lot of great things. If you want to help out, that's great. Or if you're in need, please contact them. And then if you can donate on those days and different times, it'd be great. So it's pretty much all I have today. Thank you.
Thank you, Travis. So next up is our promo video with Marisol.
Has this live forum been informative and useful to you? What part of the forum could be improved or changed to make it better? Please take a quick survey that's located in the comments section so that we can keep 3 o'clock with SOC going for residents. Thank you for tuning in.
So once again, our survey is on the comments. If you want to scroll up to our comments section, we would love to hear your feedback and what you think about the forum so far and how we can improve, or any types of topics that you'd like to see on here as well. So it's almost time to say goodbye, but before I go, I'd like to remind you all of what's coming for the rest of the week. On Wednesday, we have Berenice Beltran Maldonado, that's tomorrow, from Voces de la Frontera. Then Thursday, we have Claire Evers from the she's the Deputy Commissioner of Environmental Health. And we will also have Dr. Heather Paradis, Deputy Commissioner of Medical Services and Chief Medical Officer. And then Friday, we will have Pedro Hernandez, Attorney at Legal Aid Society. So we hope you can join us, and I will conclude our forum with our funder and partner thank yous.
Hello, SOC viewers. My name is Lucas, and I am a youth organizer. We would like to thank everyone for supporting our 3 o'clock with SOC live show and for completing our SOC survey, in addition to thanking our residents for tuning in and sharing our show. We would also like to thank the following sponsors: Wisconsin Voices, Community Development Block Grant, Neo Philanthropy State Infrastructure Fund, Catholic Campaign for Human Development, Movement Voted Project, Zibber Foundation, City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention, Tides Foundation, City of Milwaukee Prominence Zones, and all the faithful individuals who support SOC through their personal donations. Thank you.